Hello and good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to Documenting Dreams. This is episode. Yay! I am the principal owner of Just Be LLC. I'm also the proud president of Eagle 7 Early Risers Toastmasters Club that meets virtually 8 a.m. every Saturday morning. And I want to make sure I make mention of Toastmasters, who is supporting this idea of me inserting myself in a podcast scenario, as well as putting forth a podcast for the District 14. So excited. I have an extra special guest today. Her name is Bobbi Brown Mayo. She is the owner, creator, the brains behind Bobbimadethis. Bobbimadethis is an earring line that she started in the midst of the pandemic and has just done some wonderful things since that time. And so excited to have her here. So I really just want to jump right in if I could. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, Bobbi, could you tell us, what's your elevator speech?
Okay, well, first off, I like to say thank you for having me first.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Bobbimadethis is a one-of-a-kind, funky, handmade accessories line with a focus on jewelry. It's crafted in our spare bedroom of my home. Each piece is individually made, and it's all made to spark and ignite joy with every piece of colorful earrings that I create. So that's basically it. My mission is to spread joy everywhere I go, from ear to ear.
Nice. So I love that. You're spreading joy everywhere you go, and it's literally on your ears, so people can see the joy. They can see you. I think you get a feeling when you wear them.
One ear at a time.
Love it.
That's right.
They can see it on your earrings. They can feel the joy when they have the earrings on because they're custom made correctly.
That's right.
Right.
For each person.
Nice. Okay, so tell us a little more. If you were to tell us a little more about you and this journey. If you were to start the story, would it start with making earrings, or would you start somewhere else? Where would your life story begin?
Oh wow. Okay. My life story would begin probably around high school, because that's when for me, I started to really think about where my place in the world. Like before, it was very, all these dreams and goals and things, but I didn't really think of myself and how what I did would affect other people. And I think when I got to high school, I started kind of seeing, okay, if I go down this path or I make this decision, it affects not only my life, but it affects all these other people that are involved also. So I have to say that's when I really started to think, okay, I do want to make a difference in this world. I know I'm going to be famous for having some type of impact on people. And that's kind of how that vision started to crystallize for me. So it would definitely start high school.
I love that you say you'd be famous in some way. You didn't really know what it was
like
not,
maybe not like TV famous, but I always said, very young, I'm gonna be famous, y'all.
I remember that. It seems like you've carried that for a long time. I remember you saying things like that even when you were in college. And your level of confidence definitely made me believe. You walked in the room and you made a statement just with your presence. So where did that come from?
Well, my mom plays a very big role. It's kind of like in my family, my dad is the dreamer and my mom is the doer. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. Like my dad, I could draw a picture and he would say, oh, you could be a famous artist. Like you just take some classes and you expand that. You can have your business. Like he will, even to this day, he's like, well, I'll come help you with your earrings because we need to be cranking these earrings. We need to be, and my mom is like, okay, what's your plan? Like her confidence comes in the doing. So like even just recently, she told me, anytime you feel anxious, start to work. If you do that, you'll never, you'll start associating the process of making the thing happen that you're very anxious about. So it definitely starts with my parents.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, my mom has no lack of confidence. No.
So would you say those are the people that believe in you the most, or is there someone else?
Oh, for sure. They do. My sisters, one sister in particular, thinks that I could anything. If I said right now, I want to be a model on a runway, she'd be like, of course, you're beautiful, do it.
I love that. I love that.
So yeah, so definitely my family. I'll say my family.
And so outside of your family, who is in your starting lineup? You know, in sports, we love to use analogies or people like to use sports analogies, I'll say, because it's relative, right? In some capacity. And so I think, you know, we all have some people that we're like, that's my starting five. You know, I like to call them my elite eight. And you don't have to name them specifically, but if you had a group of people that you would, you know, talk about in that lineup, who would they be and what roles do they play in your life?
Okay. I keep them tight. I keep it tight. So I don't have an elite eight like you, which is so awesome that you can have that many people who, you know what I mean? Like I'm in awe of that. Like no jokes, literally. But I have outside of my family, actually a good 3 that I know that I can come to, and they each play a different role, but any of them are non-judgmental. They are always positive. They see the best in me. They know my intentions. Even if I'm doing something jacked up, they still are like, now Bobbi. You know, but it's not like I didn't know you were like that. You know, it's just and that is very important to me to feel, because you know, I'm not gonna say a trigger, but one of my things that as I've gotten older, I know is a thing for me is to feel accepted unconditionally. That's just something I've always kind of like, because I felt maybe that a lot of friendships were on conditions. I didn't have a lot of friendships because of that. Because when I love a person, it's so like hard, like, we riding together. We're gonna kill somebody. I won't tell nobody, but you know what I mean? Like I'm just that. I'm just that person. And so these 3 people in particular, like I just know that I can trust them with my heart, and they will protect my heart. Basically, that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's awesome. And you know, the fact that you love that hard, I think that is what makes you be selective, right? Because why wouldn't you be? If I'm going to love hard and I'm going to give all, then only a few people deserve to get that all. And I think that that's important, you know, when you're thinking about who you are and what's going to be important to carry you on. Are those people that allow you to go and grow? You know, because I feel like you're so creative. Someone that's creative is constantly going to be thinking of things to do next, right? Or you just might show up with this thing that just comes out of the sky and people are blown away. So do you feel like those people have seen you do that and will continue to, you know, push you in that place?
Yes. I mean, if we're going to be personal, since you're one of my 3, let's just be honest, you are one of my 3. You did something for me that I feel like if you hadn't done this particular thing, then we wouldn't be here in this moment. And that was pushing me and even cash apping me the money to start my LLC, because you knew I was dragging my feet. And it was more so than the money, because you know I could have gotten the money, but it was just the fact that you believed in me so much that you were like, take this, do this now. And I was like, okay, you know, because I was afraid. It just felt so like official. I'm like, oh gosh, now I gotta deliver, you know. So it's things like that. That's what I mean when I say, and like I said, it's not even about the money. It's just more your belief in me, and you not only believing in me, but you being like, go do this.
Right.
Like, not like, oh, you're so great. It's no like, okay, that's good. Go make it happen. Yeah. And that's what I needed at that time.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget you.
So grateful.
I'm serious. It was it was a very big deal. I think I even started crying because I was like, oh Lord.
Some of the things we do very well together. Laugh, cry, all those things.
Laugh and cry.
For great purposes though, because to that point, you know, I think what has I would say driven this growth in each other is that level of accountability, right? So there are times when, you know, I too, I love very hard. I love so hard. And you know that even people that are not in my elite 8, you know, I love them hard. And there are times when you check me on that, you know what I mean? You help me understand that everybody doesn't deserve to get that piece of you. And so, you know, when I think about my elite 8, that you are that person who says, that's great and that's wonderful. As loving as you are, you're like, but everybody doesn't deserve that piece of you. And I think it's important to have people like you and people that are willing to be that bold and say that to you, because let's be honest, we're sensitive people. We're hardcore when we're going into a place where we feel like this is something that's going to be important to us, and it's going to be important for other people. And so you want to protect those things, and you want to protect that for yourself. And sometimes you need somebody just to remind you of that. And
and I think it's not coming from a place of like jealousy, like you can't be friends and I want. It's not even that. It's just talking about you and our relationship specifically. I love, honor, and cherish how beautiful your heart is, and it's very special. And I just want to, like how I protect mine, that's how I'm I'm trying to protect yours, because you love in a way that is unlike anybody I know. Like, honestly,
you cry now?
I'm not. I will cry, girl. If we want to change this podcast, we can.
Oh my God.
We crying in the dreams, crying. But
document dreams and tears of joy.
And tears. Yeah, I mean, it's just the truth. So I think that we just are great for each other, because you help me, push me, and you help kind of like bring me in. Because I would go off. And I feel very protective of you. It's because I know, like, when we in college, man, I used to be like, she's the sweetest person I've ever met in my life. Like, I just have never had a friend like this before.
Yeah, no, I tell you, friends, and I've had these conversations on my previous podcast episodes, and just talking about friends and how we value them. And there's certain people that belong in that circle or that lineup, and then there's some people that you can't allow to be in that space. And so when you think about your business and what you're trying to do, what part of your business did you think were you most surprised about? Like, who did you touch, or what was the thing that surprised you? It wasn't a part of the original intention, but it came as a result of you starting this business. What was that thing?
Right. Well, to be honest, my business started, it kind of came after the fact. I started making the earrings, and then I just started posting them just because. But then the way that people talked about them, and the way that they were really like, oh, they just make me so happy looking at them. They just bring me so, like, people literally said, you and your earrings bring me so much joy. That's how that tagline, spreading joy one ear at a time, that's how it came to be. I didn't think of that first. So I think that's the aspect that I did not expect. I did not plan for that. I only made things that I thought was cute, and maybe if you like them too, you can buy them. But then it became this whole other thing where people were so, I guess the word is inspired, maybe just because of the fact, by the boldness of not just the look of the product, but by me boldly going after my dreams.
Appropriately so. I love it. So tell me your first childhood memory.
Oh gosh. Okay. This is probably not a good one. But okay. The first one I really remember, and this is crazy, this is the first thing, but I remember, this is such a weird, we were watching Jaws the movie, and I was probably 4. I don't think I was school age. And the guy said, let's get the hell out of here. And so I said, did you hear him say, let's get the hell out of here? And my sister told my mom, and I got a spanking. I don't know. I can't think of it. I mean, I promise you, that's like the first time when you said that, I was like, oh, that time you snitched and I got a spanking. Yeah, that's.
That is hilarious. Oh
yeah.
My God.
I'm curious. Do you mind me asking what's your first memory? That's a good question.
My first memory, so many. Probably being in the first house that I grew up in. I was there,
Mm-hmm.
and I can say grew up because I lived there until I was about eight or nine. And I remember distinctively when I moved to our new house, the house that I spent most of my life in, that it was before, it was a few months before my ninth birthday, and it was like in September
Okay.
or something like that. But I just remember being in that neighborhood and just feeling so comfortable and so safe because
Mm-hmm.
everybody knew everybody. And
This
I
was your
think
first house.
this is the first house that we lived in.
Okay.
The second house has great memories for a multitude of reasons. But my first memories in that house, because again, I was in a neighborhood, everybody on that street, if I remember correctly, was Black, and it went up into a cul-de-sac. And I knew everybody up into the cul-de-sac. I would ride my bike down the hill, and it was just
that's a good feeling.
Yeah, it was just a safe place. We did all the things. We ran up and down the street. We stayed out until the night light came out. I remember yelling for my brother across the neighborhood to tell him to come in because mom and daddy said it was time to go, and he heard me, or he could anticipate me screaming. And then my sister doesn't have a lot of memories because she was so young when we moved. However, it was just such a safe space. And I think that's why I remember it so vividly. And now having children of my own, like that's my desire for them to be in a place where they always feel safe enough, where they can, go so far, but close, they're close enough to be kept safe. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
You're like my last person. I'm like, am I interviewing you or you interviewing me?
Oh, I mean, that's what I was curious. Like,
no,
I'm gonna have to think a little bit about what. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit. That's good.
And it could be that was your memory because it was connected to, again, something with your kids. Maybe you talked to her earlier. So, Bobbi, thinking about where you are now, where you want to go, in this famous journey, what would be that part of that legacy? What would be the famous legacy?
Oh, like what particular difference will I make, or what?
No, just what will be your legacy, generally speaking? You're in a new space, sort of. You're on a different journey. We have children, so the story's ever changing.
Right.
So what will be your legacy? What do you want to be your legacy?
That's a hard question because there are things that I want to be known for.
Okay.
But I'm not really sure what path I want to take to make those things. But what I want to be known for is that I boldly went after what I wanted to go after, and I had fun doing it. And I took people along the way with me and made people who came along feel like they were good enough, accepted, and that they had what it takes to make whatever is inside of them come out.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. That's a good question. As far as of course, my children, I want my children to know that I did all those things and they can too. But I think on a broader scale, I want to make sure that I show people that you can be who you are unapologetically and go after what it is that you want to go after, and you can have fun doing it. Like you can smile the whole way. There will be hard times, of course, but it doesn't have. I think a lot of times in business, I'm talking my way through this, but a lot of times in business, it is so serious and such a hard solopreneur. They say that entrepreneur life, and it is very difficult, and it is lonely. And all of those things, I get that. But I also feel like there can be happiness and peace and fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any desire to do anything that's not fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all wrapped up into my legacy. But
That's
there are other things. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things, not just earrings. I also want to have a cultural legacy that I leave. And I want people to know more about our culture and appreciate it and its beauty and the artistry within our culture. So there are a lot of ways that I want to leave my imprint, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And it's so funny and appropriate because you are, and we joke about this all the time, as much as you keep your circle tight, you are a sharer and a giver. Like you
yeah.
definitely give love, hope, encouragement, that cherish the moment, excitement, like all the things. And what's funny,
I mean,
I'm listening to you, and if somebody was to tell our story together, part of the story would definitely have to come with the word share. And we've talked about this because I always get tickled, and I tell the story to my husband and really good friends. You know exactly where I'm going. Good friends, and I just was always like, so audience, I'll share a little story for you. Bobbi and I were in dance company together at the illustrious University of North Carolina Agricultural and Technical
Aggie Pride.
University. Aggie Pride, home of the blue and gold, G-Ho, all the things, of which I'm wearing the lovely Bobbimadethis ring today.
Lovely.
Handmade and crafted for me by Bobbi.
Just for you. Only pair in existence.
Only pair, let's be clear. So the funny thing, I think if somebody were to have to tell our story, they would have to add this part. So part of the reason I love you is because you do share, and you value joy in those moments, just like you said. It's so appropriate. And while you were talking and sharing about your legacy, I couldn't help but think of, you would always offer half of whatever you had.
I knew it.
We would walk in the store. We would literally be going to practice. And like, oh, I'm gonna go to the store. I need to get me a snack. I need something sweet before we go, or wherever. We about to be going on a road trip, and I'm going to get, let's say, a Snicker bar or a Twix, which has 2, but I want all 2. Bobbi, hands down. If I pick up my candy bar, and it's the same candy bar as yours, you're like, you can have half of mine. Oh, I want my whole candy bar. I did not know, but this just goes to show you the most beautiful person that you are. I did not know until, I think maybe it has barely been a year since you told me this, I should say. So when I say that, this is 2023. I think you told me this in 2022. I had no idea why you were so willing to share in that manner, because I kept thinking, why she don't want me to have, I want a whole one. Like, why she keep asking me? She don't get it. Like, I eat a whole candy bar. I'm not a child.
Right.
Like, give me my whole 2 Twix. I want my whole Snicker bar.
We can share the experience together, though.
No, I wanted my own. We can share while we enjoying 2 holes, okay? I'm going to get to it. But the point is, you shared with me why you did that. And so can you just tell, and not just our story, but maybe another way that led you to know this was a person that was really important to you? Can you tell the audience why you did that? And it's not, and I want everybody to be clear, I'm issuing this disclaimer. It's attached to money, but it's not because of the money. It was never that. Right. So I just want to issue that disclaimer. Right. So go ahead.
Well, it's funny because growing up, my mom would never, like, your parents have such a big influence in your life. They really, I mean, like, they do. That's why I just pray, Lord, that I'm just doing right by my kids.
The right things.
Yes, because my mama comes up, and my dad too, just in like random things, but like this is one of them. But I can remember, so say she took me to Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. It was rare, first off, but when she did, I would have to get a Happy Meal all the way through high school. I never got I promise you, I probably got a value meal once until I got to college, because she always made me get a Happy Meal. Okay. So I would get the Happy Meal and she would say, let me get a bite. Right? And if I grimaced, act like I didn't, anything other than the yes ma'am smile, she would take it and threaten to eat all of it. And sometimes would eat all of it. Because she was just like, you share it with the people you love. Like, I've loved you enough to buy it. Then you love me enough to let me have a piece of, like, and so the same thing I had to do with my sister. So I think that when I met you, like I had best friends in high school that I loved, and we were road dogs and you know what I'm saying, like all of that. But I think with you were my first, like, quote unquote adult friend, and only way I could show you how much I really care for you, I think, was to be like, here, let's get this cheeseburger. Because I love you, you're my friend. I love it. I don't need all of it. And I didn't even realize it. It wasn't like a conscious thing. I just I don't know. It's just
hilarious.
But honey, I got out of it because Tyree Mayo, you think that he's sorry, listeners, that's my husband. He's not gonna share. He'll share all right. He'll eat all of yours. So I had to learn real quick that sometimes you gotta protect yourself.
Right.
And look out for number one, because you can't share with everybody like that.
No. But I want you to tell the people what you said, like why you didn't usually, you hadn't intended to be sharing continually because you'd done it all your childhood. And then here I come.
Right.
What was you said it was something that I did. We used to live pretty nice with someone.
Oh, of course. Oh, I didn't even realize what you were talking about. Oh, of course. I'm losing it. Yes. So Jenelle, we have a history of you winning.
But it's not about that at all.
No, Jenelle got a stipend because she worked on campus. And when she would get her check, she would literally say, "We got paid today." You would literally say that. She'll be like, "If I got money, you got money. We going to Bojangles, we got $10. You got $5, I got $5. Like, and you're so right. I had never in my life, again, I mean, I'm going on, maybe I'm feeling very sentimental tonight because, but, but really, like, I would be like, what? So I think you're right. So it did bring that out of me. And even now I'm realizing that was part of like how I was trying to show you love or whatever. But it was definitely because you started by being like, if I got it, you got it. Like, we in this together. Yeah. And it's just, and even outside of you and our relationship, that is what A&T makes me feel like.
So that was my next thing. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and I say, when we have conversations like this is why I think just trying college, just try it. It's so important because you build so much character when you're there. You build so much, what's the word? Backbone is the word that comes to mind. It's not really what I want to say, but grit. Grit is the word. Yes. The grit that you build as an individual, because you're going to build grit, right? You're going to have a gritty moment at some point in your life, but to be able to do it in safe boundaries where,
exactly.
people
are not going to let you fall.
They're not going to let you fall. Somebody's going to make sure you eat. Somebody.
Right.
If it's somebody random, you're hungry, because, the camp was closing at 6. What you going to do at 8? We working. Right? People are still in class. So,
that's what I used to think. I thought it was so crazy.
It was. And I just feel like that's why that space is so important. It also makes me have some sympathy for the students who went to college during the pandemic, because some of that experience was literally stripped from them. However, they figured out a way, right? Because many of them have graduated and moved on, but to not have those opportunities, I feel like is, unfair in many ways. And then also, somebody coming behind them, let's say they were first generation to go to college, how do you encourage the person who was looking up to you, who was like, I'm going to go because they went.
Right.
And so I do feel some sympathy for, that group coming through, but I want to encourage anyone who's even thinking about college or has an opportunity to go, because the opportunity to build this type of relationship and friendship and that level of grit, I think about when it was time for us to pay rent in our apartment, and you were phenomenal in managing those gritty moments where it's like, ooh, did I spend a little bit of that this time? So I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna figure it out, And that's right. All a part of that, that growth and opportunity that exists in college. Everyone needs to try it. I'm
exactly.
Sorry. I'm biased. Yes. You need to try it.
I am too, but I can say specifically A&T fostered that type of environment where it's, if I got it, you got it. Even, there are stories that we both have of things that people did for us and we did for them, but we had no connection to whatsoever.
Absolutely.
So you're so right. Because I think if I went to another school, I wouldn't have had that same.
No.
It wouldn't. manifest itself the way it does now in my business and in my life.
Agreed. It's something like no other. Okay, we're gonna flip gears because you
Okay.
and I, I know your time is precious, and I'm so grateful that you blocked it
Oh,
out.
and so is yours.
So this segment of documenting dreams is called Finish These Statements.
Okay.
Whatever comes to mind. All right. I am.
Bold and beautiful.
My favorite song is.
My favorite song. It changes.
Currently.
What's my favorite song right now? You know what my favorite song is? It's because my kids love Sonic. And you know that song, Don't Stop Me Now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. It's a Supersonic song.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
but it's by what's the name of the group? It's not Queen. Anyway, I'll play it for you. But if people listening, y'all know what song it is. They'll know. They know what song.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it's only because my kids sing that song with so much like
passion.
That it makes us. That's like our hype song.
Oh yeah, don't you love that though? When the kids have a song that they love so much, when you're out in public and you hear it, what do you immediately say? Oh, and everybody's looking at you like, okay. No, I just don't understand. Like, do you feel like you gotta explain it?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, don't drive us by us in the car when that song is on, honey. We are in our own world.
Concert.
For real. All 6 of us.
Oh goodness. My why is.
Oh, my children. Cliche, but so true.
Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
People think I am, but I am really.
I can't say what first came to mind. Can I say? People think that I am. I want to say friendly. Caveat: I am friendly. They're right. I am friendly.
Yes.
I think what I should. It's not friendly. That's not the word. But I think people think that I'm more of an extrovert than I really am. But that's kind of weird to say because I am extrovert. What's the word? Here, let me explain myself. I think people think that I have a lot of friends and that I want a lot of friends. And the truth is I don't. I don't want any more.
Because of the energy you project.
Right. I give off a very friendly, like welcoming, because I am all those things. But then they try to go deeper than service. And I'm like, no, this is great fun. See you later.
This is fact. I've seen it for myself, people.
Yeah.
I have seen
for
it
sure.
in action. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm very personable, and I am. That's me. I'm not being fake. That's me all day long. But like, I got my 3 friends.
Yes.
Like I talk to y'all day long.
Right. But don't call me
in person. Don't call me on phone. Sorry. It's the truth. I'm over 40. I can't even pretend. I used to try to pretend and be
no new contact.
No. And nothing is wrong with you. Hear me when I say you are lovely, and I'm sure you are a great friend. I am full.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Last one? No. Unapologetic to you. That we're not apologizing for being our authentic selves. Not at all.
Right.
All right. Last statement. I get really nervous when.
I get really nervous when I don't know the answer to something.
Does it happen often?
All the time. But I'm probably nervous all day, every day. Like that's enough. That's probably what I should have said. People think that I'm self-assured when really I'm nervous all the time. But I just am very proactive. If I don't know, even minor things, something going on with my car, I will be on Google. And my husband says all the time, if you don't know something, you will find the answer. I sure will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I don't like that feeling.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's funny you say that you don't know something, you'll find an answer. Because I won't know something and I'll find a person. I'm like, and that comes from my mom. she would always say, use your resources.
Mm-hmm.
She said it to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know, and you know me, I'll be like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're good at that. Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember people's names or phone numbers to call them to ask them. So I gotta. I'm sorry. But she did teach you guys that, because all you and your sister, I know for sure, are like that.
Yeah. Well, resources are important, and you know, the thing is, even the people that we think about when we say I know someone are people who would genuinely help. And the ones that won't, even if we thought it, they'll show you soon enough, you know, where you'll say, okay, you know, the ability to come back from that is that practicing that grittiness. It's just like, you know, we put so much faith in people sometimes. And it's so important for us to remember, you know, the value that we have.
Right.
You know, so, well, I am so, you know, I keep saying the word excited, and I've got to look up more words, but it is a true description of this place that I'm in, and the people that I get to share this moment with. You know, for me, knowing and hearing people's stories that are surprisingly funny or shocking. They have some type of shocking piece to it. There is, you know, a unique part of their story that created this person that, you know, caused them, someone said, you know, evolve. I'm just so glad that I have an opportunity to be a piece or a part in documenting these dreams and these stories, because that is one of my absolute favorite things to do. And I knew it was something that I needed to do, and there were people that I need to start with. So I'm thankful and grateful that I could start with you.
Thank you. I'm honored.
And so
I am. I'll say quickly that I'm so proud of you. You know that I am. But also, like, this is your lane. You make it very easy to talk to. You have a calming and encouraging spirit that makes it easy for, you know, people to kind of say things they probably weren't expecting to say. So I'm loving this. I can't wait to see and hear who else you have and the stories they tell. I love it.
Thank you so much. And I'm also super excited to say that today's episode is sponsored by none other than Bobbi Made This earring.
Yes.
The Maid. You can find her on Instagram at
Bobbi Made This.
BOBBIMADETHS. And her website is
Bobbimadethis.com.
Thank you so much for being here, friend.
Thank you so much for having me, friend.
I love you so much, and I can't wait to see the rest of, not the rest, this living legacy that you continue to put forth and bring forward. So thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the best with your endeavors.
Thank you. Same to you. Yay.